Dear chess friends, crazy things are going on in the Bullet Brawl tournament in 2024. In this amazing Bullet tournament, we have now a new leader, an engine that we haven't mentioned so far in many of my videos. It's the Plenty Chess engine. Look at this. These are the current standings of this event. The Plenty Chess engine is now on the first place, has half of the point more than the Big Fish, than the Big Stockfish engine, but has also played 2 games less, which is really, really crazy. I watched now many of these games that Plenty Chess played so far, and it didn't lose any pairings so far. What I mean about pairings, of course, you know that the engines have to play one game with the white pieces and then the game with the black pieces in the same pre-arranged opening, and the Plenty Chess didn't lose any of these pairings. Also, what's wild, Plenty Chess managed to win 2 consecutive games, one game with the white pieces, but then also the reverse game with the black pieces. So I'm not sure what's going on, how this Plenty Chess is now suddenly becoming such a powerful chess engine. It has been updated this month, and I think it could be maybe a new competitor against Stockfish. Usually it was Leela, Torch, Dragon, maybe a little bit in some events, but now Plenty Chess, look at this. It's not a small result, I would say. It's a huge gap already, and if, for instance, Plenty Chess continues to play the game like this, then of course in the next few rounds that it has played less than Stockfish, it could gain 1/2 point, so it could be already a 2 points gap between these 2 top engines. So very interesting stuff. I'm not sure, as I said, what's going on, why suddenly this Plenty Chess is so strong, but of course we are looking forward to follow it, and that's why I've decided now to show you beautiful gameplay by Plenty Chess against Stash in an amazing Sicilian Defense. So here you see how powerful it's actually, because here Plenty Chess will show a great attacking style, but also a great positional style where it not allow its opponent to breathe in one particular moment of the middle game. So put your seatbelts on. We have now a new engine that's finally competing against the big Stockfish engine. So let's see now what happened with the white pieces. Plenty Chess opened with the move e4, c5 by Stash. We have now the move a3, then Mengarini Variation, and now after move g6, the fianchetto style, we have now the move h4. But these moves were still prearranged by the organizer. I'm going to tell you, of course, from which point the engines are calculating the position for themselves. Knight to c6, b4, going into this wing gambit ideas. We have now bishop to g7, and now after move c3, which the engine doesn't like. Also, what the engine doesn't like is now the move c takes b4. We have a takes b4, and now knight takes b4. After move d4 and the knight to c6, we have now the move h5, and now the move d6 was now the last move that was prearranged by chess.com. And the evaluation here by my Stockfish engine at home says that white is better, 1.2 evaluation in white's favor, but still a tough game to play because Plenty Chess already gave some material up, has of course this beautiful flank attack on the king side, and has so far also better activity also in the center of the board, has of course this dominating position with these 2 mobile pawns. We have now the move h6, great move by Plenty Chess, attacking immediately the bishop drops back, and now knight to f3. Here of course there are some threats to play bishop to c4, then maybe in some lines bishop to b5, e5, queen to b3, bishop to c4 is a powerful line getting the f7 score. The issue for black, of course, in this line is that black doesn't have now the square for the knight. The knight on g8 is a little bit stuck. Black gained the pawn, but has now a lack of development, obviously, here on the king side. We have now the move e5 here by Plenty Chess, trying of course to develop the knight and also keep the position somehow locked in the center of the board, not allowing anything strange to happen in the center. We have now queen to b3, we have e takes d4, and now a beautiful move by Plenty Chess. Doesn't even react here immediately, doesn't go for the pawn on d4, goes simply for the f7 weakness, and also in some lines the clear target could be also the weak b7 pawn. We have now the move bishop to e6, bishop takes e6, f takes e6, and what's cool now, Plenty Chess doesn't pick up the pawn here, doesn't pick up this one, plays in really beautiful, I would dare to say, Stockfish style, plays now a beautiful kingside castling. Really amazing stuff. Doesn't want to take out the pawn because after queen to e6 maybe the queens could be off the board after queen to e7. So here Plenty Chess decides to keep more pieces on the board. When you are on the attacking side, when you lost of course some material, then trading off pieces is not an option here for white. What should you do now from black's perspective? You cannot pick up this one further. I've analyzed also this line. D takes c3 wouldn't be good because you have a weakness on d6 here, because after knight takes c3 you're trying finally maybe to play queen to d7, knight to e7, maybe casting. You're trying to connect everything here. You trying of course to keep the position glued together and compact. Then rook to d1, look at this, knight from g to e7, and now with bishop to a3, I'm not seeing good ways how black is going to defend anymore this position. I think tactically this is game over here for black. So that's why for kingside casting, plenty chess played first of all, pardon me, Stash played queen to d7, plenty chess continued now with the attack on the d file, and now knight from g to e7 here by Stash, trying finally to secure the king by casting. Now finally c takes d4. Again, we have here a certain space advantage by white, at least something. Here trying of course somehow to break the position in the center of the board. What black has of course as an advantage is here this 2 versus 0 pawn majority on the queen side. So if black defends this position, if black somehow manages to get out of this attack, then in a potential fully endgame stage, black is of course completely winning because of the extra pawns here. We have now casting by Stash, and now e5. This is the way they go, of course, using now this momentum here, because if something clears on the d file, then the queen could be endangered on d7. Here Stash continues with bishop to h8, and now knight to c3. Normal development again, simply playing on a beautiful development style. Now of course the bishop is active, the rook can be included into the game. So white is dancing, I think, all over the board. Has of course lost some material, but the activity is here really beautiful by white. We have now the move d5. I think Stash tries of course here to lock the position in the center of the board, because the position was very dynamic. But now very interesting choice here, a bishop to g5. And again, let's see options here for black. What are the issues for black? What can black do in this position? If you try here rook from a to b8 to protect maybe your b7 weakness, this wasn't playing the game, then the issue is here knight to b5 is going to happen, and you have a weakness on d6. That's also a powerful plan. Then you could try maybe here knight to c8 to control the d6 square. But I'm showing you this line that in order to really illustrate that black has really tough time with these 2 pawns on the queen side. They are mobile, they are of course free, but it's really hard to start to push them, because in a potential line, look at this, we continue here with bishop to c1, you're trying a6, okay, you kick away the knight, then knight to c3, you're trying again to connect your rooks to get the knight into the game, then knight to a4, then bishop to a3, and then you have a new weakness on c5. So nothing really can be done with these 2 pawns. b6 is of course not an option. Then you have a really long-term weakness, bishop to a3, bishop to d6 is going to happen. And also what's the issue here is that black's dark square bishop is neutralized here by white's pawn. It cannot simply get back into the game. So really amazing attack here by plenty chess. Instead of this move rook from a to b8, what you could do maybe is a6, prevent this move knight to b5 that we have discussed previously. But it's still not working because of this line again, knight to a4, with the fork idea on b6, and also with the threat, with the positional threat to fix the knight here on c5. Really amazing positional, but also I would say tactical game here by plenty chess, because so far white is holding the position, white is not allowing any progress by black on the queen side. But then when the time is right, of course, then we'll strike with some tactics. So that's why for here bishop to g5, knight to c8 was played by Stash, trying immediately to control here the d6 weakness. Now comes knight to a4, and now b6. You see, Stash found this idea in order to somehow keep the c5 square locked. It's not allowing any now attack here by white on this side of the board. But of course, rook from d to c1. This rook is holding the a file, and now white is attacking the only open file here with the c file. We have now knight to a5. You could maybe try a tactic. I myself would probably play this. I would be pretty annoyed to play this game with the black pieces. I would try maybe something like this. Then after queen to f3 to play something like knight to d4. But still it's not working, because after queen to e3, knight to f5, queen to f4, maybe knight to e7. Look at this. There's always this also tactical problem. On the a file, it's not so easy for black to finally get this knight on from c8 into the game. So really a beautiful squeezing game here by white. White is not allowing here black to breathe. So after rook from d to c1, knight to a5 by Stash, attacking now the queen drops back, and now knight to c4. I would say Stash is finding here at least some kind of a defensive idea, holds now the position on the queen side, but now a beautiful move again here by a Plenty Chess knight to b2. We have now b5 and now rook to a6 here. Plenty Chess is occupying now the 6th rank, is not allowing this pawn to be advanced. If you of course allow something like a5 here, then the pawns are rolling, then the pawns are marching, and black will have a powerful game here on the queen side. So that's why rook to a6, beautiful positional idea, knight to e7, and now knight to h4, controlling now the f5 score. We have now knight to f5, knight takes f5, rook to f5, and now f4. Great move again by Plenty Chess, not allowing again anything to be opened here on this side of the board. This bishop is controlling at least something, and this bishop, as we mentioned, is simply out of game. What should you do? If you try here queen to c8 to attack the rook, I've analyzed also this line. This wasn't playing the game. If you try queen to c8 to attack the rook, actually, believe me or not, here Plenty Chess has such a powerful attack that it doesn't have to even react here against this attack. We can play knight to c4, then after something like queen to a6, look at this, knight to d6, queen to b6 you can try maybe, but then king to h2, you're trying maybe to push the pawns, but in this scenario we'll try, I don't know, something like this, rook to knight to c8, knight to e7. The pieces are rolling here. Very messy game here again for black. Really not something that you can defend. I think when the queen comes on 7th rank, then you have some tactical issue on this rank. The queen and rook could build a battery, so again a messed up game here for black. So after move f4, what Stash tried is now the move rook takes g5. Here black was pretty annoyed by this amazing activity of the knight. Here Plenty Chess continues now with f takes g5, but still, even in this line, black didn't solve the positional problems of the Darshko bishop. Still, the Darshko bishop is out of game. Rook to f8, we have queen to e2, and now knight to b6. Even if you try here rook to f5 to again somehow keep the position blocked, then actually white can go into this line. Knight takes c4, b takes c4, and then rook from c to a1, attacking now the 7th rank, and it could be immediately game over here for black. Not working here. So that's why for queen to e2, knight to b6, and now here Plenty Chess continues with the attack again, finally going for the square that Plenty Chess battled for in the beginning. Now we'll see the beautiful cemented position around the square c5. We have now the move b4, knight to c5, obviously here by white, and now queen to e7, rook to a1, and now I think the position is simply collapsing. We have now rook takes a7, queen to g5, queen to f3, going for the f7 weakness here, queen to f5, and now rook to a6, simply putting more pressure against this loose knight on b6. We have now rook to b8. Now Plenty Chess trades off everything here around the square f5, but now we have this weakness, and again we're trying this battery to attack now here the h7 pawn. We have now the move f4 by Stash, and now Plenty Chess continues with the battery. Nothing can be done. The game is over here for black. Rook to c8. Now this pawn is taken. Knight to a8, and now knight to e6. The position is really bad. f3 here by black. We have now rook to d7, bishop to f6 here. Black is just trying to prolong the game with some dubious moves, but now Plenty Chess simply took. And now an interesting move, really even a funny move. Here Plenty Chess didn't want to even take the pawn, allowed here a promotion by black. The position is so powerful that you can allow yourself even here for the promotion of the queen, because you get this beautiful checkmate sequence. First of all, the check, and the knight is controlling this square. So it would be an amazing checkmate pattern here by white. So that's why for king to h2, here Stash prolonged the game by promoting to a knight, but now king to g1, and again with the same pattern, again the same tactic happened. We had an amazing checkmate here by rook to g7. So great game by Plenty Chess. I'm not sure what's happening. So Plenty Chess, as I mentioned, won now all of the pairings that it played. In one pairing, it won both games. The prearranged bad opening with the black pieces, and then also the prearranged good opening with the white pieces. So let's see again, as I said, the current standings. Half of the point more in 2 games less played than Stockfish 17, which is really crazy. Finally, we have a competition. We'll see. So far, we have to also mention Plenty Chess and Stockfish did not play. I hope to see them playing. I hope to see really the power of Plenty Chess. Can it really compete against the big fish? but I think it becomes now really an interesting tournament where the Stockfish engine is not dominating in such a brutal way. So, okay, I hope that you enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Interesting attacking ideas, really positional ideas, weak square ideas, getting your spaces on the queen side, occupying ranks, really thematic and instructive stuff here by White. If you want to see some other beautiful, sharp tactical games like this, check out our commented chess games played by computers. Here's the link of our playlist, and if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.